Well, hello YouTube, greetings from the Lazy Eyebrow to a review of the Toyhax label set for none other than Studio Series 86 Jazz. 86 Jazz was designed to be a highly cartoon-accurate figure, not just in paintwork but in physical design as well. As such, he sports a very minimalistic design with a big teal stripe on top with a single red band. Beyond that, the painted fog lights and the front stripe, the only other paint application the Jazz comes with are the number 1 and 4 on the doors. While this very simple design has pleased a good number of cartoon purist fans, a good number of people, myself included, really enjoy the realistic and toy aesthetics, and this is where Toyhax shines its best, as they've created a set that will please just about any level of customizer and fan. First off, if you're someone who really appreciates the designer's work to strive for a cartoonish look to the figure, you can apply the door sticker that covers up the 14, replaces it with a 4 and a martini logo as seen in a substantial amount of shots within the cartoon. Even just this one vinyl label alone does 86 Jazz a huge favor, and there's a whole 4 sheets worth of labels to cover. So going a bit further, let's cover the toy accurate angle you can achieve with this set. The biggest and most obvious change this set brings to Jazz is the striping along the roof and sides. Labels have been added to the doors, as well as the toy-accurate striping around the fender that the cartoon references occasionally. And most importantly, striping has been provided from front bumper all the way to the back window. This has been segmented so that it fits on all the panels almost seamlessly. As for options on the front, you can choose either just striping, or striping with an Autobot symbol with bold white outline that makes it pop a bit more. Otherwise, you get the 4 up top in the standard Martini livery fashion, as well as all the other striping you've come to love from the Martini racing colors. And finally for the spoiler, a toy-inspired silver Martini Porsche label has been provided. Anyway, let's take our Jazz and take him up a notch and dip our toes into more of a realistic look for the vehicle. It's small changes, but first off, our windows have been given labels all over, covering over the translucent plastic with something that looks far better, with a tinted gradient look that looks way more realistic, especially with the curved shape here resembling a dashboard. Additional striping has been provided, thickening up the fender stripe to cover the bulk of the fender, while also adding engine intakes to the front of the fenders. On the back, exhaust labels have been added to the feet, which is always a welcome addition. A black stripe has been added to the toes, which attempts to make some sense of the feet that have been left hanging out here, as well as a Martini logo to the bottom of the spoiler, and taillights that look fantastic here. My word, it's one of those changes you don't realize how much it's needed until it's been done, and oh my goodness, it just pops! For people that aren't about having a super realistic alt mode and just want a minimalist take on a semi-real world vehicle, this configuration is probably what you're looking for. Mind you, if you're anything like me, let's go all out. Sponsors, sponsors, and sponsors. All of these labels have been inspired directly off the real world 935 and the way it was adorned for racing. Like, let's bring in an official model of the 935 and you can see exactly where everything fits and lines up, and it's like it came directly from the factory as an official model of the Group 5 Porsche. The front grille has been lowered, making room for a Martini label, sponsorships accurate to the car along the sides of the bumper, shell on the front fenders, turbolator behind the front wheels, Martini Racing as a windshield banner with your choice of Martini Racing, Martini and Rossi, Martini Porsche, and Agent Meester. Dunlop on the back window, Martini Porsche on the spoiler, and this time in clear, not silver, and at the sides, even down to the small details like the Porsche badge on the nose of the car, the chrome labels applied to the side mirrors. That black label at the back is actually somewhat of a reference to the real car. On my model of the Porsche 935, or to be more precise, the 935-76, basically anything of the back bumper contained within the aero paneling was painted black, and I believe that was the effect that was being intended here. So yeah, that was the vehicle mode stickers, the mode that I really feel benefits from this set. That's not to say there's anything wrong with the cartoon accurate visuals aside from the numbering, but personally I love what's been done here to bring this to mini masterpiece levels of details, and it's just so amazing. On then to robot mode. In robot mode, Jazz looks pretty good. The fenders and the legs, due to the way things transform, end up being a solid white. The back, with its cartoon aesthetic, is very two-tone. There's not a lot going on the chest, as paneling that had striping is now plugged into the abs, and that's kinda it. So let's see how much of that gets changed for this mode. First up, for those that just like the changes to the stripes while still maintaining the animated minimalist look, then this level of application is for you. Stripes added to the fenders help break up the color and add a little more variety to the visuals. The blue and red are replaced with the 5 stripes on dark blue, with a second label provided to go on the neck area. 2 options have been provided for this area, mind you. I went with the extended striping, however logically this is the area where the 4 resides in the vehicle mode, and as such a corresponding label has been provided for that option. And finally, the striping on the roof. Naturally, this looks a little more realistic, and a little less animated. Mix and match these looks with applied windows and you have yourself a hybrid look of the mix between realism and cartoon aesthetics. However, let's take a look at everything this package gives you. Starting from the top, included with this set are 2 visor labels, one of which is silver, evoking the way the toy came way back in the day, or there's a baby blue visor printed with the same chrome sheen, taking it from gloss paint to a reflective blue visor that just brings it to life. The already mentioned vehicle sponsorships are visible for the hood, and then moving down to the abs we see mainly what the robot mode labels are for, toy-accurate details. The chest-inspired logo has been condensed into the abdominal trapezoid, as well as the hips have been reconfigured for where the original blue resided. Robot-y details have been added to the sides of the legs, inside of the indentations, as well as the original knee details make their appearance within the knee. And finally, some shin detail as well. The black labels from the bumper present themselves here. I've had them on for so long that I've gotten used to the look and kind of dig the two-tone feet, but they are entirely optional if you're more of a robot mode-centric person. And lastly, for those that are all about the toy aesthetics for Jazz, additional fours have been provided to allow you to open up the door wings to the best of your ability that have been omitted from this toy's design. So that was the overview of the label set for Studio Series 86 Jazz from Toyhax. If you'd like your own copy, a link to the set will be in the description and a pinned comment where you can pick up your own set today. This has been the Lazy Eyebrow.